You're now watching Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.
All right, Jimmy, I'm Paul Stone looking at the Michigan teams this week, and the Wolverines are climbing up. A little support early for the Michigan Wolverines at Illinois, 3.5 and 43.5 against Brett Bielema's crew. Michigan has a week off after that trip to Seattle, so they come in off of a bye. Illinois at 5-1 and ranked. Both teams ranked. Michigan number 24, Illinois number 22. Illinois, only 219 yards total offense against Penn State. Michigan has a comparable defense, but Michigan, you know their one-dimensional approach on offense. They are really down statistically in the passing game as well. 3.5, 43.5 seems a little high on the road here to me, Paul.
Yeah, I think it is, Jimmy. You know, Illinois coming off a game where they were fortunate to escape Purdue in overtime, 50-49. They actually led that game by 21 points at halftime. Did Illinois, only to see that lead disappear. Had to kick a field goal at the end of regulation. Did Purdue to force overtime, or did Illinois to force overtime? The Fighting Illini escape with a 50-49 victory as a 3-touchdown favorite. But this time of year, I tend to, outside of an injury or some other extenuating circumstance, I tend to give teams at least one mulligan and evaluate them more on their whole body of work rather than just one data point. And that's what I'll do here with Illinois. I think Illinois is going to rebound with Michigan coming to town. You talked about some of Michigan's limitations offensively. Brett Bielema, an outstanding coach as a underdog there in Champaign, and even prior to that at Arkansas. But Bielema now 15-7 against the spread there at Champaign as the betting underdog. 3-0 this year is the betting underdog. Michigan only playing their second road game of the year. Lost at Washington 2 weeks ago before the bye. Had the bye last week. Now they're traveling to Illinois. I think it's too many points. I like Illinois plus 3.5 over Michigan.
All right, the freshman quarterback heated up just a little bit. Ryan Brown in his first start for Purdue, 6 yards passing. 9 yards passing at half. He had 288 in the second half and overtime. 40 points in the third and fourth quarter in the second half, even before 46 if you want to include overtime for the Purdue Boilermakers. Yeah, the emotional pass for the Illini, as they were definitely looking forward to this one. They've been waiting for a while to have a real shot to beat the Wolverines. They were close a couple of years ago, but could not get it done. All right, let's look at the Spartans. They're back up off of a bye as well. Spartans started out 3-0, and then they lost their next three. And man, really was a tough one at Chestnut Hill. They should have won that game. They gave that game away. They were that close to going 4-0. But then against Ohio State and Oregon, we knew these teams were going to be very tough. Two top 5 teams. They were kind of outmanned in that one. But Jonathan Smith trying to regroup, get his team back. I look to see a much better effort this week against Iowa. It's now 5.5, 40.5. Spartans catching at home against the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, this would be such a big win for head coach Jonathan Smith in his first year there at Michigan State after coming over from Oregon State. And he's going to need to have his quarterback, Aiden Childs, protect that football. Childs also was at Oregon State with Smith before he followed his head coach to East Lansing. But Childs, he's thrown 8 interceptions on the season, very athletic. They love his upside. He's got great athleticism. And I think with experience, he's really going to be a good quarterback. Iowa's coming off games against Ohio State and Washington. So on the road as about a touchdown favorite, this would be a natural spot perhaps for the Hawkeyes to maybe let their guard down a little bit. I probably won't be involved here at the current number of 6.5, but interesting game for both teams. Iowa obviously needs to win to stay in some level of playoff contention, while Michigan State just needs to win to get that program headed in the right direction.
Bet Rivers players can play same-game parlays in college football and NFL games to earn squares at Bet Rivers. Our exclusive Square Games offers additional chances at profit boosts, bonus bets, and many $10,000 jackpots. Visit BetRivers.com or the Bet Rivers app for more details. Let's get to the MAC in Eastern Michigan after their first loss of the season. And you called that one, Paul. You thought it was step up in class for them. They're back home and favored by 2.5, 56.5 against Central Michigan.
Yeah, Central's won 4 of the last 5 in this series, including Last year, they defeated Eastern Michigan by a 26-23 margin. Central Michigan's top running back, Marlon Lukes, he's rushed for a total of 272 yards in Central Michigan's last 3 games, averaging 5.6 yards per carry for the Chippewas. I kind of like a slight lean right now to Central Michigan plus the 2.5.
All right, Buffalo trying to follow up on a big win for them. Double-digit dogs at home against Toledo. They win it going away. Now they're back at home. Again, Pickett 49.5 against Western Michigan. Maybe Western Michigan catching them a little bit still celebrating after last week. I like Western here.
Yeah, and I think that's what the betting marketplace is thinking, because Buffalo actually opened as the betting favorite at some sports books on Sunday. You mentioned Buffalo off that impressive 30-15 home victory over one of the league favorites, Toledo, this past weekend. Buffalo's already beaten not only Toledo, but before that they beat Northern Illinois. So a pretty impressive resume to date. Buffalo's also 2-0, but their victories, I believe, over Ball State and Akron. So not quite as impressive there for Western Michigan, but I don't really see a reason for the line move, but I'm going to stay out of the way in this one and just watch with interest in this MAC showdown of undefeated teams.
All right, for Paul Stone, I'm Jimmy out looking at the Michigan teams each and every week right here on the Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.